Khloe Kardashian is determined to support Scott Disick and won't abandon him, even though Kourtney has moved on. Hi, before we continue, please subscribe to the channel for all Kardashians news and update. Khloe Kardashian has made it very clear that she will always stand by Scott Disick no matter what, even if her sister Kourtney Kardashian has moved on from him. While many people who watch reality television think that Khloe and Scott only act close for attention or ratings, people who really know them say their relationship is very real. In fact, they are said to be much closer in private than what the public sees. According to someone who knows them well, their bond is strong and has been there for many years, and it's not just for the cameras. This close connection between Khloe and Scott continues, regardless of how Kourtney feels about it. Khloe and Scott have been friends for a very long time. The source explained that Scott has been part of Khloe's life since she was in her early 20s. She sees him as family and always will. Scott treats her like a sister and has always looked out for her. He has stayed close to her through many hard times in her life, including the very public breakdown of her marriage to Lamar Odom and the many problems she had with Tristan Thompson, the father of her children. During those painful periods, Scott supported Khloe in every way he could. He comforted her and did his best to be there for her when things were falling apart. When Khloe was hurt by Tristan's cheating scandals or going through emotional pain because of Lamar, Scott was the one who stayed by her side. The source also said that Khloe feels Scott has always been loyal to her. In her eyes, he has proven himself many times, and she refuses to push him away just because her sister Kourtney has moved on with someone else. Khloe is not gossiping about Kourtney behind her back or sharing her secrets with Scott, or at least she says she's not doing that. But Kourtney still feels uncomfortable about how close Khloe and Scott are. It bothers her. And one thing that really upset her was when Khloe invited Scott to be the first guest on her new podcast instead of choosing her own sister. That decision spoke volumes and made Kourtney even more upset. The source said Khloe seems to ignore Kourtney's feelings completely when it comes to Scott and becomes very defensive when anyone questions her close relationship with him. Kourtney and Scott ended their relationship back in 2015 after being together for about 9 years. They have 3 children together: Mason, who is now 15, Penelope, who is 12, and Rain, who is 10. Even though they are no longer a couple, they continue to co-parent their children. Meanwhile, Kourtney has found love again. She began dating musician Travis Barker in early 2021. They had known each other for a long time before becoming a couple, and their friendship eventually turned into romance. They got married in a small legal ceremony in Santa Barbara, California, on May 15, 2022, and then had a big wedding celebration in Portofino, Italy, a week later on May 22, 2022. Since then, Kourtney and Travis have started their own family. They welcomed a baby boy named Rocky 13 on November 1, 2023. Even with all these changes, Khloe and Scott's bond remains strong. They even talked openly about their relationship during the first episode of Khloe's new podcast called Khloe in Wonderland, which was released on January 8. During their chat, they addressed all the gossip and rumors that have surrounded them for years. A lot of people have wondered if there was something more going on between them beyond friendship. Scott shared that even his own parents, Bonnie and Jeffrey Disick, used to ask him if the rumors were true. They would joke and ask if he had gotten Khloe pregnant, and he would play along with their jokes. He remembered his dad asking, "You got Khloe pregnant?" And Scott jokingly replying, "Yes, Dad, I got Khloe pregnant." His dad would just accept it and move on. It was clearly a running joke in the family. But Khloe quickly stepped in during the podcast to make sure the audience didn't get the wrong idea. She told everyone clearly that Scott never got her pregnant and that nothing like that ever happened between them. It was important for her to make that fact known and clear up any confusion. Khloe also shared that her fans were eager to hear from Scott and wanted to hear them have a real and honest conversation. She had asked her followers who they would like to see on her podcast, and Scott turned out to be the most requested guest by far. She said there were 2 big questions people always asked. One was whether she and Scott had ever been romantically involved, and the other was why they weren't married. While talking on the podcast, Scott joked loudly and playfully said yes when asked if they had ever been involved, but Khloe immediately shut him down and said no. She made it clear that they never had that kind of relationship. Scott then became serious and said that it was crazy how people actually believed the rumors. He reminded everyone that he has children with her sister and that the idea of them being together just doesn't make any sense. He explained that he says a lot of wild things sometimes, but he's never serious about them. That's just his personality, and he likes to joke around. Khloe agreed and added that if they were actually in a relationship, people would attack them for it and say very negative things. She said it would be a disaster if something like that were to happen. They both understand that their close bond is unusual and that it invites a lot of talk, but they also know that the truth is very simple. They are just close friends who care about each other and have always supported one another through hard times. Through everything, Khloe continues to be there for Scott, and he does the same for her. Whether people like it or not, that friendship remains strong. It is based on years of trust and support, not just something made up for television or to get attention. Khloe doesn't feel like she needs to end that connection just because her sister moved on, and she doesn't think she's doing anything wrong. To her, Scott is more than just her sister's ex. He is someone who stood by her during the most painful moments of her life. That kind of loyalty means something to Khloe, and she's not ready to let that go just to make things easier for other people. She believes that her relationship with Scott is built on respect and family love, and she's not going to walk away from that. Even though this situation makes things a bit complicated for Kourtney, Khloe doesn't think she's being unfair. She doesn't try to hurt her sister, but she also won't stop being friends with Scott because of it. This may cause tension between the sisters, but Khloe is firm in her decision. Scott has proven his friendship again and again, and Khloe doesn't want to lose that bond. She wants to continue having him in her life and doesn't see any reason to end their friendship. For Khloe, it's not about taking sides. It's about standing by someone who stood by her. That's why when it came time to choose someone special to be the first guest on her podcast, she picked Scott without hesitation. It was her way of showing how important he is in her life. And even though it may have hurt Kourtney's feelings, Khloe doesn't regret that choice. She wanted to have an honest and fun conversation with someone she felt close to, and that person was Scott. Their talk during the podcast was full of jokes, laughter, and real talk about the rumors and misunderstandings that people have about them. It gave fans a look at their real friendship, something that has lasted for many years and remains strong today. In the end, Khloe's loyalty to Scott is something that's not going away anytime soon. Thanks for watching. Please do well to share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more Kardashian